One of the big areas involves change of ownership and transfer of provider numbers in the service sector. So this would principally be with hospitals or other providers where the process of actually changing ownership, getting approval for that, and then whether or not something qualifies for change of ownership, transferring provider numbers and potential liability that goes with that, can both present delays and potential unknown liabilities. And in the provider number area, this would be the authority basically to bill Medicare and Medicaid. There is broad authority that the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid have to recoup alleged overpayments, and this happens all the time. And a selling party, if that party is transferring as one of the assets their provider number, which often happens because of the delays and complications in not selling the number and having to have the acquirer apply for a new one. And there's some conflicting case law in different circuits across the country, but basically what you have to assume is that any potential, either known or unknown, liability for overpayments would be transferred to the acquirer. So that has to be dealt with either through escrow provisions, indemnifications from affiliates, or other types of provisions that would protect the acquirer. So that, in the service sector, I think is a very important area. The other thing I would mention, because we're seeing more and more of it, is that quality of care, which one wouldn't think is really a source of financial exposure, has turned into one because the government has been successful at arguing that a provider that files a claim for Medicare or Medicaid and is actually operating a facility that is not meeting quality of care rules is filing a false claim, and therefore are subjected to all sorts of both penalties and criminal liability. And the government is looking for not only compliance programs, but training, looking and reviewing nurse quality, having the board aware of whether there are quality problems or not. This is focused more heavily on the post-acute nursing home sector than anywhere else, but it's an interesting theory that has gained some traction recently, and something certainly to be aware of if you're an acquirer.